Cells are dividing constantly, and we all know that. But if you think about the intestines, for example, as food moves through them, those cells are shed and they need to be dividing so that they can be replaced and to upkeep that lining of the intestines. And cells divide through a process called mitosis. Again, we probably all know that. And mitosis is just a part of the cell cycle, a much bigger cycle, which allows cells to divide, creating genetically identical daughter cells and all that. But the cell cycle is actually really complex, and it's made up of stop signs and go signs, which makes it a really tightly controlled process to make sure that everything goes smoothly and the DNA is replicated perfectly in those cells so that there are no mistakes, no mutations. But sometimes mistakes do happen, mutations happen, and when mutations happen, it can cause a cell to either not divide as much as it should, or to continue dividing and not really stop, because that stop sign, that red traffic light, is suddenly gone and that cell keeps on dividing, forming a bigger cell and a bigger cell and a bigger cell, a tumor. And when we hear that word tumor, we often think, scary, cancer, but they're not all cancerous cells, tumors. They can be benign, which just means that they're non-cancerous tumors, and they can be malignant, which would mean that they're cancerous or cancer-causing. So benign tumors, they're usually kind of in one place, they don't really invade anywhere else, they mind their own business. But malignant tumors, they don't respect boundaries. They will invade nearby organs, nearby cells, and they'll keep expanding and growing, and that's kind of how cancer works. And here's the thing, anyone can get cancer. Obviously, as you get older, risk can increase, but anyone can get it, and it's all down to genetics, lifestyle factors, things like obesity, exposure to UV radiation, smoking. Some viruses can even cause cancer, like you may be vaccinated against HPV if you're a lady, and HPV could lead to cervical cancer. But it does all really boil down to controlling the cell cycle, and that brings me back to my original thought, which was cells dividing constantly. And in the space of time that I've recorded this video, my cells have divided so many times I probably couldn't count. And it's just crazy to think that it's such a precise and immaculate process that goes right 99.999% of the time. But when things go wrong, they can go so horribly wrong.